want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
I'm going to step off the limb now.
So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
People will return to the people, and so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You are men.
The one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. The whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. A political chump. In Washington, D.C., in the House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republicans. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you bash controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you, because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race. I know you don't like me saying that, but I'm not the kind of person who come here to say what you like. I'm going to tell you the truth whether you like it or not.
Tell all the other curs the law's coming. You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
The United States.
This is America, Jack.
We're Americans!
This is the power of suggestion.
The ultimate gala spectacle. You want to hear the truth? Yeah, I want to hear the truth. The truth is,
Its cruel symptoms can strike anyone.
That's all I'm going to say at this time.
What creates an extraordinary life is an extraordinary mindset.
Now that I got your attention, listen to this.
let's go!
We're now in the approach phase. Everything looking good. Control is good. 5, roger copy. 3, 2.5, 2, 1. Okay.
The Wayne Dupree Program.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wayne Dupree Show. I'm your host, Wayne Dupree, here on War Radio. We are America Radio, your number one streaming source for conservative news, updates, breaking news, opinion. And we are bringing it to you live here on Spreaker.com. A beautiful chat room in Spreaker. And let us not forget our faithful over here at the RSBN chat room, and a terrific salute to the RSBN moderator. Glad to have you with us tonight for this show. Take down this number, 202-470-6738. 202-470-6738. My question tonight, I'm going to hit you right off the bat. If you were running the Trump campaign, what would you focus on right now? If you were running the Trump campaign, what would you focus on right now? That's the question. So when you call in, you should be answering that question, and it should be quick because the phone number, because the calls do come in, rather fast. I want to thank those in the RSBN studios. They make it happen, and I'm glad that we are part of the team. Joe, Mom, the whole family, and I'm glad to be part of what is going to be a huge way, or a huge vehicle, a huge medium going forward past the election. We're not going anywhere. We're staying right here, RSBN. So for those that, if this is your first time listening or your first time watching, make sure that you subscribe. By the way, this show is being brought to you, Joe, this show is being brought to you by WeAreAmericaCoffee.com. WeAreAmericaCoffee.com. Please go there and support our show. Proceeds of some of the sales go to our show and help us keep going, and help us get to where we need to get to. But look, see, so now I have everything right here. I have everything right here. I have the Spreaker chat room. I have the RSBN chat room right here. And the phone number, 202-470-6738. 202-470-6738. We're going to be taking phones in just a little bit, but I want to introduce, because I see some people are calling in already. Don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. We're going to try to get as many calls as we can in tonight. Hopefully my guests will be calling in a few minutes. But I want to introduce the lovely lady from the West Coast, Miss Cambry Nelson. What's up, Kay?
Hey, good night. Good night, good night.
What's up,
Everything's hopping. The fires are hopping. The chat rooms are hopping.
Oh, yeah.
Media is hopping. I mean, this is just fun. To me, I get excited when all this crazy chaos happens. It makes me happy.
The media is mad.
I love it.
Yeah, I do too. The ladies and gentlemen, the media is mad because the media can't get, or the media can't turn the Trump supporters. The media can't turn them. And if you are thinking about being turned, then something is wrong with you. Your country needs you. Your country needs your spirit. Your country needs your fight. This is no time to waver. This is no time to step down. This is no time to back up. This is no time to retreat. We have to go forward. Lose a limb, lose an arm, lose an eyeball, I don't care. You got to go forward. And losing an eyeball, speaking of losing an eyeball, we also have the Godfather of War Radio, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr. What's up, Hutch?
What was that in reference to my ice pick or what? Good evening, Mr. Dupree. Hi, Kim, and good evening to all the growing, vast audience on all the different platforms. And I'll say good evening also to the crew in the production room at rsbn.tv. That's right. We're happy once again that we are part of the team and that you are part of our team. Now, the question tonight is, if you were running the Trump campaign, and I'm going to give this to my co-host before we start taking phone calls, what would you do? I mean, because the media say, I watch Brooke Baldwin or Costello, whatever the heck that woman's name is, Costello. I watched her try to force words into Katrina Pearson's mouth, and Katrina wasn't having it. But she was trying to say, well, it's a campaign shakeup. It is. And Katrina, no, it's not. We're just adding people. That's it. We're just adding people. Well, no. Well, look, it's got to be a campaign shakeup. Come on, Katrina. I mean, she even said that. Come on, Katrina. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. You're supposed to be a journalist. Or you're supposed to be a news person. You ain't supposed to be begging somebody. You ain't supposed to be begging your guests to agree with you. We saw that happen with the fruit last night. Don Lemon wanted to Kellyanne to agree with him, and when she didn't, his panties got in a bunch. But I mean, with Costello and with the media, like I said, the media's mad. The media's mad, and I really don't care, because as long as y'all are standing up, as long as y'all are smiling, as long as y'all are fighting back, I'm a happy camper. But if I see y'all not fighting back, if I see y'all starting to waver, I'm gonna be a pissed off dude. You hear angry black man. You might not have seen one, but you start wavering. You start backing up. You start retreating. I'm gonna try to slap the back of your neck so hard you're gonna wake up to the next Tuesday. Yeah. Oh wait. You know what? I do it myself. Thank you, Red. Thank you. My co-hosts are a little bit late.
A little slow on the uptake, man.
My co-hosts were painting walls just a while ago, so they weren't on the same page as I was, but that's okay. If you were running the Trump campaign, what would you focus on, Cam?
Oh my gosh, there's so much I would focus on. I mean, we have to focus.
There's got to be one major thing.
Oh, one major thing?
You.
Definitely one major thing I believe is it's a toss-up between economy and the safety of America right now with the threat. But the economy is what is resonating on all levels, with blue-collar workers, with the inner cities, with the American people. I'd have to see the economy, because you can really wrap up all of his other stances that he's making in this election based around the economy. That goes into illegal immigration. That goes into the higher black vote turnout, inner cities. So I'd say economy. Economy is really what pushed him the first part of the year, and that's why people really, the blue collar workers is what really got him. So if he stays on point with the economy, he can wrap all of his other issues around the economy on how they've been affected and how we're currently being affected by all the other issues that we're having in the United States.
How about you, Hutch?
Well, I think what he needs to do, and he's already done that a little bit with the bringing on Stephen K. Bannon. He needs to realize that his base isn't going anywhere. Mm-hmm. He has to get more than that. And the way he does that, they made a horrible error today. They should have never announced Stephen K. Bannon and the other woman that came onto the team today, because it took his excellent speech last night right out of the news cycle. And I think Bannon is going to be able to deal with this timing a little bit. All it is timing. Mm-hmm. I mean, he gave the best speech I have ever heard in 53 years by any politician on both parties when it comes to reaching out to Black America. Right. And I'll tell you, Joe on the RSBN network did a good job by parsing it down to 9 minutes. If you don't have time to watch the whole speech, he did an excellent editing job, and you can catch that on his website and on his YouTube channel. But they wasted an opportunity, and hopefully we can reintroduce that to the American people, as many people as we can, because I don't know if you watched it. I think you probably did. But that got me, Wayne. That was the best. I've never seen any politician do it more honestly, without pandering. You take that versus what Hillary Clinton's doing, and there's just no contest. I think he needs to start. He did 2 speeches in a row, one day after the other, one on national security and one on law and order, and it was just, both of them were fabulous. And I think he needs to get people to see that. However he does that, whatever outreach he can use, maybe the pastors, to get this out into the communities that it needs to be seen by.
Well, my thing, and I said it earlier today, is I hope to God that he keeps on speaking to the minorities, because it's something that I haven't seen before from the Republican Party. The Democrats always get the leg up with their lies about them being for the middle class, and them being for women, and them being for the children and the old people and everything like that. But what Trump dared to speak to the minorities, and that's what really pissed off the media, because the media is like, how dare you speak to the minorities, our people, and I mean, I was happy that he did it, but now I need him to keep on doing it. I need him to keep on talking. I need him to keep on talking to them, because many of them didn't see the speech, but they heard about it. You know, people are going, did you hear the speech? Did you hear what he said? Did you? I mean, and honestly, I thought Clinton was going to come out and try to take back some of that thunder, but she did not today. So I was like, okay, all right. Well,
he leveled her.
Well,
he took her right out.
Well, from that, but you know how the Democrats do. They'll come back and say that, you know, he's lying about this and lying. But since she did not come down that path, I think he should come right out again and speak some more to this issue. So because I don't believe in all the poll numbers, Cam. I don't believe in these poll numbers. But if he needs to raise his numbers with the minorities, with the Latinos and the black voter and the Asian, if he needs to do that, he needs to keep on doing this. He needs to.
Right. I mean, one of the things that he can do, he has to do this, because last night, I mean, you could definitely see the behavior between his speech and what he said resonated with anybody. Anybody watching it, common sense, could not disagree with him, because when you give facts, you can't really disagree with facts. You have to agree with them. And the way you see the media's behavior today, it clearly shows that, hey, Trump was on his game last night, and what Trump said was factual. It resonated with so many different people in that are big names in even sports industry. Said, "Hey, I listened. I listened to this." But there's some things that Trump can do. Trump can play the media. Trump can play Hillary Clinton better than what he thinks he can. Right. The one thing that he's got to do, the one thing he can steal the attention away, is he's got to be in front of the people more. He's got to be in front of the voters more. Doesn't mean he has to do a press release every other day or a press conference every day. One of the things I would love for him to do, I was talking to a gentleman this afternoon, if he got on Periscope at the exact same time that Hillary Clinton was speaking, he could start stealing the spotlight away from the left. If he got in front of people like that every single day and was talking, answering questions, talking about what he talked about last night, that is getting on a social media type of level. But not only that, it's combating everything that the media does. Anytime the media has a hand up, you have to go in and find a way to take away that type of power. So there's so many different things that Trump could do that I would even say, hey, when Hillary's going in to do this, let's take the thunder away from her. She's not doing enough press conferences. Do more press conferences. Be out there more. Hit her more when things are slow. Like today, the only thing that was exciting about Hillary Clinton is they took her stool away. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's all that's going on with that. But there's an availability to go in and steal the thunder with the left, to be able to gain a lot of attention, to get people to follow. Because anywhere on the internet, you need to see Trump's tweet. You need to see him going on Facebook mentions. You need to see his Periscope videos. Those type of things will actually dominate the internet and dominate the media. And in retrospect, it forces people to watch them. Because even though they say the left doesn't like Donald Trump, people still listen.
Hey, Tara, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you doing? Right?
I'm fine. How you? Yeah. Well, so the question of the night is, if you were running the Trump campaign, what would you focus on?
Well, I would focus on exactly what he did last night, speaking to the minorities, especially the black community. And I respectfully disagree with Hutch on about his announcement for his campaign people, his shakeup in his campaign, because normally when Trump goes and does these speeches, immediately by the time he's finished, you can go and look and Google, and you will see all kinds of articles already posted, twisting what he's saying, distorting everything. But you know what? That speech last night, they did not post it anywhere. I looked. They did not post it. And that's probably why Hillary didn't even say anything about it. They don't even want to draw any attention to what he said last night.
Hey, thank you, Terry. I kind of noticed that. I used to wonder, how do these people write these articles so fast? How do they put all that information up there so fast? I mean, it's really it was really nuts that I would see like full blown articles on what Donald Trump has said, and it would be like 10, 15 minutes right after. I don't know. Hey, caller, what would you change, or what would you focus on if you were running the Trump campaign?
Me?
Okay. Let me see. Hey, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from? And turn down your radio.
Hi, my name is Debbie. I'm calling from Jersey.
Hey, Debbie, turn down your radio for a little bit, or your computer. And
you got it?
Now, if you were running the Trump campaign right now, what would you focus on? What would your main focus be targeted on?
Oh, Hillary. Hillary.
Okay.
He needs to go at her with everything he's got. He's finally got people turning around and listening to what he has to say. She, with this Clinton Foundation and all this information that's been coming out with the WikiLeaks and the DNC leaks, he needs to keep hammering away at that. The one thing that I found interesting that was said is his base is solid, which it is. We don't always agree, and that's just the way it's going to be. Nobody agrees with somebody 100%, but people who are loyal, they're not going anywhere.
Right.
What he needs to do is turn around the people who are forced to support for her because they got, Bernie got dumped because of her. And he needs to take those people and say, look, I get it. I'm not your candidate of choice, but I'm a lot better than that woman. And that's where he needs to hit, and he needs to hit hard. He needs to really focus on the Clinton Foundation, the cash, the way he's treated the minorities, how he's turned her back on the LGBTQ, people, as well as the blacks and the Hispanics, and let them know that, you know what, this is not the old Republican Party.
Right.
It's the new Republican Party. Come on board.
There we go. Hey, thank you for your call. Hey, somebody in the chat room said, Big Al, as a matter of fact, said there's a mole in his camp. I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past anybody.
Woo.
I really wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't put it past. I mean, come on. We've got the GOP finding out everything that's going on in the Trump campaign. I mean,
they're so mad too.
100%
Yeah, they are mad.
in Trump. I wouldn't trust it even.
You got 120 Republicans that sent that letter to Rent saying, "Hey, don't give them no more money."
Right, and they're not having weekly briefings by Reince Priebus on what's going on with the campaign. I mean,
I think Reince Priebus has been a stand-up guy so
I do
far.
too.
He surprised me. He really did, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's got a spine, and he knows what time it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see Trump figure out a way. I mean, he has this big group of pastors that are at least listening to him. I think what he should do is take this message that he talked about last night, and he needs to go to Harlem with it. He needs to go to Chicago with it. He needs to get these people to get him an audience that is almost all minorities, and just let's see what happens. Let him say what he said. He's the first guy I've ever seen treat the Black American community like adults, like citizens, like honorable people.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I loved it. I did. Hey, Carla, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Steve. I'm from Kingsport, Tennessee.
What's up, Steve from Tennessee? If you say again.
Yeah, I was just listening.
Okay, hey, listen. say today's your first day as campaign manager of the Trump campaign. What you going to focus on?
I would focus on the only thing that really matters, like Cam said, is the economy. The economy is the center of the spider web to every other issue, even immigration. All is back related to the economy.
Okay.
You got to focus on the economy.
All right. Okay, Steve. Thanks a lot. Hey, let's see. I think I've heard 3 economies, and that includes Cam. Hutch, what was yours again?
I think that he needs to. The objective is to win, and the American people don't have a very long attention span. And I'm not talking about our audience, and I'm not talking about people that are already locked in to Donald Trump.
Right.
I think what he needs to do is realize that this is a media-driven game right now.
Okay.
So you have to have value in your FaceTime, in your camera time.
What would
when he gives an epic speech like he gave last night, he needs to make sure that nothing else gets in the narrative, like hiring Stephen Bannon, which was the news all day today, was the shakeup of his campaign staff, and nobody's talking about the epic speech he gave yesterday. He needs to worry more about the message that's getting put out there in the media. And that might sound superficial, but this whole game is superficial at this point.
So basically, you were focused on what?
The campaign. I would focus on making
sure
that
broad,
the message.
That's broad. I'm asking for a particular a number one.
The issue. If it's an issue that he needs to focus on, then I would agree that it's a toss-up between the issue of safety, both internationally, national security, and safety in the streets for America, the economy. Those things all, you can bounce them off Hillary Clinton like he did last night and show how bad that she is for all of them.
Okay, now, you know what? I'm going to be Don Lemon now with you. Give me one.
National security.
National security. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, national security. We got the economy. I had said the outreach to minorities because, like I said, and like Hutch said, we haven't seen any Republican really do that. They really haven't done that. They shy away from it. But it's funny that I really haven't heard anybody say the immigration wall thing. And I know that you said security, but it seems like it's more the economy.
The reason I say security is because Donald Trump allowed himself to be allowed. Caller, please turn your radio down.
Okay.
And what's your name and where are you calling from?
It's Gorf from New Jersey.
Garth?
Gorf.
Gorf. Okay. What's going on? What do you want to talk about tonight?
I want to tell him what I think I would do as a campaign manager.
All right, go ahead.
You're up,
Gorf.
No, well, there. I mean, the economy, obviously, but I mean, you got to focus on the fact that Hillary and Obama have failed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the other Steve said, because my real name is actually Steve. The other Steve said that it is a web, but you got to start at the center of the web, which is economics. Which, I mean, the place is a mess. I mean, finding a job, everything else. I mean, it's just really hard out there. And I think we should stop calling these people the mainstream media. That's giving them too much credit. Let's say what they really are. They're the drive-by media because that's exactly how they treat people they don't agree with. They're propagandists.
That's true. The corporate globalist media.
I mean, it's horrible.
Thank you, Gorf.
You got it.
Somebody just sent me a message on Facebook. Look, check this out. Loser libs on Mediaite still think the KKK supports the GOP. They still want us to use that bogus argument. Again,
I saw that.
They will put that out there that the KKK and look, again, the KKK didn't have anything to do with the Republican Party. It didn't have anything to do with the Republican Party. The Republicans never owned slaves. If you don't believe me, you need to go out and look at Hillary's America. That's factual based.
Absolutely.
Dinesh
At the beginning of the Civil War, not one slave was owned by a Republican.
Not one. And to hear that the party switch and that the Southern strategy was racist. Well, when the Republicans took over the South, you didn't see no more of the hoses on black people, did you? You didn't see no more of the blacks eat here and whites eat here. When the Republicans took over, you didn't see all that stuff. It's just common sense. It's just common sense, people. It's just common sense. You know?
It's common sense, but I mean, the sad thing is that a lot of people, if they don't go back and research history, they're never, ever going to know.
That's true.
I mean, they could easily switch the narrative, because a lot of people go, well, how can the left switch the narrative to the right? Well, they didn't have internet then.
No.
How would people know?
I had it off speaker.
All right, caller. Hey, welcome to the call. Where you calling in from?
Chicago. How you doing tonight?
Hey, doing good, darling.
What's your name?
Scott. How you doing, Wayne? I love your show.
Hey, man, thank you so much. I appreciate it. From Chi-Town. Hey, what's going on with Chi-Town? Y'all had 100 people shot a couple weeks ago. 100 people in 1 week. What's up? What's going on?
It is absolutely insane. I mean, and I fear for Trump's life here. They shut him down the one time coming in.
Yeah, I remember that.
They totally didn't let him come.
Mm-hmm.
The police were out. They couldn't handle the people. He had to totally reroute his whole campaign.
And I think Rahm Emanuel had a lot to do with that. If you listen to some of the officers of the Chicago Police Department,
is he on the outs, Ron? I mean, because Ron didn't even talk at the Dem convention. You notice that?
Rahm Emanuel is like the worst thing that happened here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so if you were running the Trump campaign, Scott, what would you focus on? What would be your main target?
The main target right now would be what we have in evidence: perjury. She lied to the American people. We have it on tape. We have it in recordings. We got the FBI director stating it.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't see what the problem is?
Right. Hey, thank you, Scott. I was watching today that they are looking at Congress got some emails, and they're looking at bringing some perjury charges against Hillary Clinton based on what they got from the emails. Listen, my message to Congress, and y'all can send it to them if you want to. I'm tired of y'all pussyfooting around on this subject. Either put this woman in jail or lose her. I don't care. Whatever. Whatever comes first. Because y'all acting like y'all are afraid of this woman. Y'all are really acting like you're afraid of her. Now, if y'all done something in your past that she knows about, just come out and say it. Beat her to the punch. Come out and say it, you know? And if you need to leave Congress and somebody needs to be elected in your place, well, so be it.
That's the thing, is how many people on the right know everything and know more, and they're being quiet? How much does Mitch McConnell know, and he says nothing? How much does Paul Ryan know, and he says nothing? Mm-hmm. He does nothing. The only one that I can see that's fighting a battle that could probably fight behind closed doors without us seeing, and I'm still waiting for him to come out and say something, is Trey Gowdy. I mean, where are they? I'm telling you, they look tough on C-SPAN.
Yeah, they do.
They look tough. We get excited about it. They look tough, and then all of a sudden, nothing.
You're
nothing.
right. Yeah.
They do look tough.
And you know what they did? You know they all have Clinton Foundation Cadillacs in their driveway. You know, and they're the ones that don't have Saudi Arabian Bentleys in their driveway.
Or you wrong. You wrong. But
you know it's true.
You telling the truth, but you wrong though.
I know.
Carla, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Cindy, and I'm from Iowa.
Hey, Cindy from Iowa. I hear that Trump is doing very well in Iowa.
I hope so. Make up for the last time. Jeez.
Yeah. So listen, Cindy, you were just hired today on the Trump campaign. What are you going to focus on your day one tomorrow? First thing, you walk in the front door.
The ground game. I know you want issues, but the ground game.
Nice.
I'm in Iowa, like I said, and I've tried to call people to get yard signs, bumper stickers, anything, and they all say we don't have any.
Whoa.
You know, there's people knocking on doors, doing Trump canvassing, I guess, and there's nothing to give them, and we need to pick that up, I guess.
Go to Trump's website.
Wow, Cindy.
Well, I know that. No, that's what the guy said. Go to Trump's website and buy them. Well, hello. That's not the right answer. I would think they would have something to hand out to people.
Wow.
You know.
Hey, Cindy, that right there was. Thank you. That was a real good one. Thank you for your call.
All right.
Wow,
that was a good point.
I didn't even think about the ground game.
I didn't either.
And probably the Trump campaign's not thinking about the ground game right now.
Yeah, that's something that they've definitely needed to work on for the past year. I mean, I know right now they have 200 offices in Florida. They're strategically focusing on Florida. Some of these main states they're focusing on more heavily than they are other states. But yeah, I have to agree with her because my girlfriend is still over Dallas, all over Dallas. And that is something that's always been a struggle, is not enough ground game, offices, signs, and all of that type of stuff. But I do understand, just so I can kind of answer her, because I did have a call with them today, the ladies in Texas, that they are in the process right now of redesigning some of the stuff that's going to go into some of these offices in the area. So just be prepared. They're getting out the new logos with the Mike Pence logos. And then once they get that, they're going to distribute them out. So I just found that out today. So maybe that'll help a little bit.
Another update, too, in a staunchly progressive city of Pittsburgh, where my studio is, my Trump sign has still not been molested to this day.
You know why? Because you're scary. You're the godfather.
Yeah, it might have something to do with the Doberman pincher in the yard, but other than that, no, really. I mean, this has never happened to me before.
You're the godfather, you know.
Forget about it. But you know, the other thing,
Did the one to tell you that?
I just wanted to mention this because it's coming and we need to be ready for it. Donald Trump made the mistake early on of aligning himself with Vladimir Putin. And why I said national security earlier is because right now Russia is massing troops on the Ukrainian border. And if Putin decides to make a move, Donald Trump has to be prepared, and I hope they're listening. I know they listen to the program. He needs to be prepared for the attack that's going to come from the left that says that he's allied with Russia, and especially with Manafort and his dealings, which I mentioned at the beginning when he first came on board. But we need to be prepared to repel that leftist attack that's going to come if anything happens in Ukraine. And I hope it doesn't. But the troops are they're massing there. It's just a fact. So, I mean, I'm not trying to rain on the parade. I'm just trying to be tactical. You know, we have to be prepared to repel this.
I can see Donald Trump saying, "Let's ask Hillary."
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, we had to make a special phone call to this individual. And he told me to call. So,
hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, my brother from another mother. I mean, this man had one of the most exciting speeches at the RNC convention. I am so proud to call him my brother. And I haven't talked to him in a while because he's been busy. But I want to introduce him to the RSBN crew and the speaker crew and everybody that's listening tonight. Pastor Daryl Scott. What's up, bro?
Everything good, man. Look, when you were doing that big, nice introduction, I was wondering who you were talking about.
You know I'm talking about you. And you deserve every bit of it, too, because you are standing in the gap. Right now, you are standing in the gap. And I have on Cambry Nelson and Hutch Bailey Jr. as my co-host.
Well, God bless everybody. I just got back from vacation.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I went on one of those, my wife, myself, my daughter, and my grandbabies went on one of those cruises. And it was real nice, able to get some rest. But I was on cell phone restrictions. You know, my wife took my phone and put it in her purse, man, and I was like, you know, I had withdrawal syndrome.
She said, family time.
Waiting till she was asleep and then trying to find where her purse was at to try to get the phone out and sneak in the, you know, almost fell overboard the ship trying to sneak somewhere to use the phone.
I know. I was like, look, I mean, I got that quick, hey, I'm on vacation. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, one of them cruises, and you make these promises.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, when we go on the cruise, I'm not going to talk. Nope, I don't want the phone. No, I will not be on the phone. I promise. And then 5 minutes in, where's my phone? I need my phone. And then
Hey, bro, listen. I want to talk to you, especially about that speech last night that Donald Trump gave.
He did a great speech.
Beautiful speech. He, and I've been saying this all day, he did something that I have not seen the Republican Party do, and that is to publicly stand up there and call out the Democrats and Hillary Clinton. But Hillary Clinton this time, if he would have ran against Barack Obama, he probably would have did against Barack Obama. But nobody else, you wouldn't expect nobody else to do that for the black community like Donald Trump did. And everybody has to give him kudos and for standing up there and doing that. What did you think when he did it?
Well, first of all, it was a fantastic speech. And what he did was say in public what I've heard him say in private. Now, when I say in private, I don't mean one-on-one. I mean in, smaller meetings. And he's wondered out loud, why his message has not resonated more with the African-American community. He's always said that I would think black people would gravitate more to what I'm saying simply because I'm talking about jobs and I'm talking about repairing America's crumbling infrastructure and I'm talking about urban redevelopment and revitalization. I mean, he said to me point blank, he said, listen, that's what I do, create jobs. And he said, who's a better developer than Donald Trump? Who's a better job creator than Donald Trump? And, he was actually puzzled as to why his message was not resonating among our people more. And I told him it's because, the Democrats are playing the race card. And that's something that our people seem to gravitate to without giving any consideration to facts. They just, what? Racist? Okay, you can shout racist and they immediately gravitate to it when it's a non-Democrat. I mean, Hillary, last night Donald Trump called her a bigot. And, a number of people got in uproar about that. In fact, I had to do CNN this afternoon, and they asked about him saying she was a bigot. But they don't understand. Bigotry, hides itself in a lot of different forms. Right. Bigotry says, what racism basically says is, I'm better than you.
Right.
Now, when you say that I'm better than you, it can manifest or you can act it out or practice that without saying, I don't want to be around you. Mm-hmm, or you can't ride in the same section of the bus as me, or you can't drink out the same water fountain as me. What it says is, you need me and you need my help. Right. And I have to condescend to you because I'm better than you. And so to me, that's the type of bigotry she displays, a condescension that, when I watched the Democratic National Convention and I saw them parade black person after black person up there to say, Hillary's been there for us and Hillary has helped us. They sounded like a bunch of victims, a bunch of abuse victims, or a bunch of molestation victims. They're saying Hillary helped us. And then I heard one guy, they got him up there and he said, Hillary Clinton helped us. And I said, Clinton? Hillary Clinton? And they just didn't even realize how they sounded. They sounded just like I said, like some illiterate, like we're some poor, helpless illiterates that need Mistress Hillary to help us.
Right.
When you have another guy that's preaching self-help and do for yourself, and here are opportunities for you to do for yourself. You don't need anybody's help, and that's the one they're rejecting.
I mean, I always looked at the Democratic National Convention as a minstrel show anyway. They get up there and buck dance for free hotel rooms and perks and everything like that. But then they go back to their communities, and then the communities are still hurting. But go ahead, Cam. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I mean, there's something that we've been talking about the polls lately. We take them as a grain of salt, but there are still some people that are out there that do get nervous. They still see that, and it puts that fear in them just a little bit. And I just want you to kind of clear the air on this just so people will know and they can take a deep breath. And is that, of course, we know that the media is here to push their propaganda. Trump did amazing last night, and what did they do? They had to find a way to scramble to still make it that, Trump only used the African Americans. He didn't talk about anybody else. But when it comes to polling, they're saying that Trump's polling 1%. Can you clear the air that Trump is not only just polling 1% in African America? Because LA Times, again, today, came out with another article where Donald Trump's doing very well with African Americans here in California. So can you just kind of let everybody know what's happening from your point of view, what you're seeing in the African American community?
Well, first of all, it sounds ridiculous to say that in the first place, because there are however many black or African American, I'm used to saying black, however many black or African American Republicans there are that are going to vote their party's choice.
Right.
So you can't discount the number of, once again, Republican African Americans that are going to vote for their party's candidate. So you have them. And then you have, and I know for a fact, a tremendous amount of people that have said to me, and a tremendous amount of leaders that have said, listen, I like Trump. I'm going to vote for Trump. I'm just not making my choice public. And I'll tell you why. Because everybody isn't built to take the Uncle Tom and the coon and the sellout and the race trader. Everybody's not built to take that. They can't take that criticism. Or they don't want to, first of all, suffer the backlash, or they don't want to lose whatever constituency they have. They don't want to lose customers, or they don't want to lose church members, or they don't want to lose friends, relatives, or associates. So they'll keep that choice to themselves. But when they get in that booth and nobody's looking over their shoulder, they're going to vote Trump. I mean, when I went to New York City and took those 108 pastors, they were unanimous.
Right.
Well, I'll say nearly unanimous. And I would say it was unanimous in the sense that nobody voiced any opposition to anything we talked about. And at the end, I closed the meeting by saying, how many of you like Trump, and how many of you think he's a racist? Nobody thought he was a racist. How many of you are opposed to anything he said? Nobody. How many of you don't think he's a great guy? They were all. It was a love fest. It took Trump an hour to get from his seat to the door, just from taking selfies and giving autographs to each one of the people up there. And we got downstairs, and they saw those cameras. And out of the 108 preachers that were in that room, I looked around, and there was 20 of us in front of the cameras. The others cut and ran, and they told me, "Hey, man, I'm supporting him, but I didn't know the cameras would be here, and I don't want to tell anybody because I don't know. I just don't want to. They can't take it."
Hey, now, Pastor Scott Hutch Bailey Jr., and thank you for coming on the program tonight. We appreciate it.
God bless you.
I'd like to ask a question kind of along those lines. You've gained a position of prominence in the last few months, ever since Cleveland. And I wonder, is it possible at this point in time for you and possibly the other pastors affiliated with you, is there a way to get an audience, and 100% minority audience for Donald J. Trump, that he could pass the message that he passed last night directly and in person? I mean, he passed that message. It was an excellent speech, the best speech I've ever heard an American politician give when it came to relations with Black America. But it was in the suburbs of Milwaukee. Is there any way he can get an audience somewhere where he is surrounded by the people he's talking to?
Sure, and we're working on that right now. And, I had to say this today. They tried to criticize him about his choice of venue, but what I told him was, listen, I'll give you an example. Hillary Clinton was in Cleveland today. Really, nobody knew it.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know it.
I didn't know it until somebody told me on Twitter, Hillary's in your city. And then I mentioned it to someone, Hillary is here, and they said, I know. She was at a high school gym. John Marshall High School auditorium or something. She was there. And John Marshall High School is 100 years old, so picture how large you think the auditorium or the gym was. And it didn't register a blip on the radar screen. And so what I told them was, Trump already had that venue selected. He didn't know that night before last, there would be riots in Milwaukee when he selected that venue. And so, for a Trump venue, he selected in advance, but those venues cost a nice piece of change, to accommodate the thousands of people, and they pay for it in advance. And they have to have security in place, and they have to have the insurance in place, they have to have whatever they do, the ushers, or however they handle it. So it's not so easy for him to just say, oh, they had a riot, change the venue.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Right.
You have people that have already went out to get access passes and everything that are there. And he didn't know a riot was going to break out. Now, if it was Hillary that was going to go to John Marshall's high school gym and she found out something happened, it's easy for her to say, well, let me go to another gym in a different part of town.
No word.
What about going
we are
forward,
working on, in fact, you know what? I'm working on something, and I really don't want to announce just in case it doesn't come off, but Wayne, I definitely want to have you there.
I'm there with you.
Something very big that if I can pull it off, if I can get the principals involved that I want to be involved, it's going to be something that's really big.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But we're now. I'll tell you in private.
Okay.
I don't want to say it on the air because I don't want to get. I have to make sure I get everybody involved that I'm trying to get involved. But I had someone call me from Howard University that wants to have Mr. Trump there, and they were critical of him not going to the NAACP. But that was the same week as the RNC.
Right.
And you know what? To be honest, they asked me. They've asked me about certain venues to go to, but I told him in his case he has to be careful of his choice of venue, because if you're going somewhere where some people already have a made-up mind and they're not going to change no matter what, and they just want to get you in there just to grandstand off of you, then no, don't go.
Right. Right.
Now, if it's someone that's there with an open mind or the possibility of an open mind, or we're going to a room full of undecideds, but if it's someone that is there that is not going to be in support of him no matter what he says, he walks on water, they're going to find something wrong with that, then I wouldn't waste my time going. Did you see CNN last night, the Don Lemon show? After the Van Jones and them sat there and tried their best to find something critical to say about the speech.
We talked.
He acted like his stomach was sick because and it was.
Well, look. I mean, when I saw it, I labeled them the CNN bathhouse anyway. I mean, they just got crooked people over there. And when I mean crooked, I mean crooked. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. Okay, so but
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
come on, Soros funded them. These guys are the spawn of Satan, man. Let's just say it. That's exactly what these people are. They're out there to twist people's minds and try to get the blacks to hate the whites, try to push propaganda, and use us for their political puppets. That's what CNN is.
You're absolutely right.
Well, I know that you've had your run-ins with Donnie Girl here and there.
And Roland Martin.
Oh my goodness! Bro,
I watched that live.
I saw the video.
No. Let me tell you something. The
I saw the video.
You should have saw was the part that wasn't on tape. See, I happened to be walking past, and James Davis told me there's Roland Martin over there. And when I saw him, I said, Roland Martin. And he looked, I said, I'm right here right now. This ain't Twitter. This not social media. And so, I got loud on him. I called him out, and I got so loud, a crowd gathered, and the security stopped. And I'm going to be honest now, I'm sorry, I'm a preacher, but every now and then I have lapses. I put my fist up to him, and I said, we can go outside. I said, I'm home in my city now. I said, I'm not for that Twitter fighting and talking all that stuff on Twitter. Man, you can go out downstairs right now and settle this out in the back like men. And it was a whole different story. I'm going to be honest, I had a flashback. I reverted back. I told the guy that I was with, I said, Drew, I'm feeling that feeling that I ain't felt in a long time, man, and that's all I can do to keep him going over there punching this dude in his nose.
Well, you know what? Look, you know what? He blocked me. He blocked me on Twitter.
I had a total street hood flashback. I said, man, I would go over there because I don't disrespect people. Like, I don't do that. Right, and it became personal, man to man.
Right.
But he backed down, and his producers were so nice, and we squashed it off air before we did something on there.
Well, he blocked me on Twitter
when I was questioning him while he was on CNN. He blocked me. So when I saw him at the RNC, I called him a couple times, and he kept on walking by while I was sitting at the table that I could not get up from the table. But he kept on walking by and looking at me at the corner of his eye like a little punk. Okay, that's what he looked like. That's what he looked like.
He was looking at me. He looked at me and had this little punk look on his face when he looked at me.
Yeah.
I could see it in his eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly.
When
I saw it in his eyes.
He said, "I'm from Texas." I said, "I'm right here from the streets of Cleveland. You don't have that milk and cows."
That's right.
I said, "We can go downstairs and we can see." You know, I said, "Hey man, I was Black Lives Matter before it was Black Lives Matter. I came out them real streets. I don't know where you come from. I came out them streets, man. And it's all I can do to keep the streets from coming back out of me sometime. And I've been saved for 35 years, I still have to battle to suppress that."
I don't like how he tries to take Diamond and Silk apart. And I know that they're time enough for him, and they respond to him in kind, but I just don't like the way that he goes after them.
They tore him.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
They told him he was a plantation. I don't even know if he showed that. They tore him up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Pastor, that's what I call jacking somebody up to Jesus.
Yeah. He but you know what's funny? Like I said, then he's a different tune when you. But the part I liked was when I saw the Whip interview and I saw this interview, and I said, well, what about the Roland Martin interview? You know, you don't have the juice.
Right.
You don't have you can't get in the room and get the interview. Now, if you quit calling me names, maybe I could have got you the interview.
Right. And but you know what? He looked like he didn't want the interview when you said that. It's like he threw that. Well, I can't get it when you say, well, look, if you act right, then I get it. Well, he acted like he didn't want it at that time. He is happy about talking about a certain issue and just staying on it and demonizing it instead of trying to find a solution. And
Roland Martin, when I saw them guys dancing
the buck dance,
that video, I was done. God. I said, now this is coonery at its finest.
Oh yeah. I saw that too, and I was like, now that is Fiddler. That's Fiddler from Roots.
I had to tell a guy came on and asked me a question. I said, let me tell you something, man. I have a horizontal relationship with Donald Trump. I don't have a vertical relationship with him. I look at him and I talk to him man to man. We don't have a vertical relationship. I'm not looking for a job. I'm not looking for a job or a handout.
Right.
I do what I do with him because I like the guy and I consider him to be a friend.
Right.
And I think he'd be a good president.
I do too. Hey, look.
You know, a lady got mad at me on Twitter yesterday when she said the same, how much are you getting paid? And I said, you know what, all the broke people ask that question.
Ain't that crazy? Oh, my God.
Hey, I had an interview with a television reporter in Cleveland. And it upset me because she got on the air. And I'm going to answer this question. I know you've been asked before, but how much are you getting paid? I said, how much do you think sellout money is? I said, well, I'm going to flip that question on you. How much do you want for selling out? I said, if Donald Trump offered to pay you right now to sell out the black race, what's your price? I said, because here at my church, my electric bill is $20,000 a month. So what am I going to ask Donald Trump for? A month's worth of electricity? I said, I don't want to hear it. I said, now you tell me your price, and then I'll tell you mine. So don't ask me no stupid question like that again.
Yeah. I mean, I had somebody ask me, well, you must be getting paid a lot. I said, nah, I'm not getting paid enough. You mean you doing this for free? He said, yep, I'm doing it because I think that he's going to be the best president ever. Well, you're stupid. So I'm it's gone from them blaming me or accusing me of getting paid to now I'm stupid for not getting paid. And I'm telling you,
right?
Whatever these people.
Watch this. Now you were at the convention, and this is the point I brought out. And when I brought it out, people did, shucks. You were at the Republican convention. I was there, right?
Right.
The purpose of the convention is to advance the Republican agenda and to formally nominate the candidate for president and to do everything possible to make this nomination a success, right?
Yep.
Everybody there was for the purpose. Everybody that participated was for the purpose of making this a success. Now, I saw all these people that I knew from Cleveland, I even had people call me and ask, could I help them find work down there? I saw all these people that I knew that were sweeping floors, taking out the trash, working the security, working the doors, doing all these things in these paid positions. And they were there, and then I had someone try to call me out because I was on the stage. Now I said, I was on the stage to help make this convention a success for the candidate. You were mopping that floor to help make this convention a success for the candidate. You got paid for mopping the floor. I didn't get paid for being on the stage.
Right,
Who's the sellout?
There we go.
I said, because you know what? I told somebody, I said, you know what? I walked out on that stage for Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton could have offered me $100,000. I wouldn't have did it for her.
Right.
I wouldn't have went to the Democratic National Convention and came out there and spoke on her behalf. If she'd offered me $200,000, I wouldn't have did it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but you're down here selling out what you believe in for the $12 an hour you're going to get for taking out this trash. So who's the sellout here? Because if I felt that strongly about it, and I was that much opposed to Donald Trump like some of you said you were, I wouldn't have went down there and worked at that convention. You couldn't have offered me enough money to do it.
Right.
I'm not working down there. That's like I wouldn't go work at a Ku Klux Klan convention.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I wouldn't go work at the Jehovah's Witness convention because my Christianity is opposed to that. So what I'm saying is you all are the sellout because you're telling me you hate Trump, but you're out here taking out Trump's trash.
You know it, and probably taking some of those scraps home. Listen,
thank you.
we need to get you back on. We got to get ready to go. But
anytime. I'm sorry I'm late, man. I did a lot of running around. I'm still playing catch up from vacation.
That's all right. You know how to find me. You know how to
I'm available anytime. I consider it an honor and a privilege to come on.
Oh, man. Okay. I'll take that. Okay.
I mean that. Anytime. Just text me and tell me what time, and I'm there. I promise.
I love that. How can people reach out to you on social media real quick?
I'm trying to. What am I?
You better have it.
Is it at Pastor D. Scott or at Pastor Daryl Scott? Which one am I?
It's Pastor D. Scott.
Right. At Pastor D. Scott.
There you go.
Find me on Twitter. Come on, be my friend. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Won't you be mine?
Won't you be mine?
Won't you be mine? I'm like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood out here.
Hey, before I let you go, I hear that you got a new quarterback in Cleveland.
RG3 out here.
He sucks. Okay, all right, I gotta go.
You know what? See, now you about to let the beast up the cage.
Hey, the base
RG3 out here, man. What are you talking about? He sucks.
Did you see the Cowboys?
Right, who's your team?
Did you see the Cowboys rookie quarterback?
That's right.
Against the Rams? Dak.
Who is your team of choice?
Cowboys, baby. Cowboys.
Cowboys, okay.
Cowboys.
Now, are the Cowboys on the Browns schedule this year?
I hope so.
I do too. RG3, comeback player of the year, NFL. The Bible says thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established.
The Bible also said thou shalt not lie. And
I decree.
I'll tell you what, the Cowboys might not be, but maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers are on your schedule.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. I'm from Texas.
RG3 is going to personally destroy the Steelers twice this year. And the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's why God makes a hole in the roof so we can watch America's team, baby.
That's right. See?
The Cowboys are still trying to flirt with Johnny Manziel.
No way. We already got our backup quarterback in Dak Prescott.
Johnny Manziel will be a Cowboy.
Yeah, when he goes to sleep and dreams about it. But, I mean, other than that, he ain't taking the field. Well, Madden.
The Browns just signed this 3-year contract with Cleveland, so it looks like we'll be champs 3 more years in a row.
You ain't beating Golden State next year. Ain't nobody beating Golden State next year.
Hey, Durant, that's not going to work.
They going 82-0.
That's not going to work.
Nobody cares about baseball. The Cleveland Indians are the best team in baseball this year.
They are?
Thank you.
They are?
Oh, yeah.
No. Wait a minute.
Of the Cleveland.
Baltimore Orioles, baby.
We'll see.
But Cleveland better than Baltimore.
No, okay. Well, all right. Battle lines have drawn.
Look, I'm going to say this.
Battle lines have been drawn.
The Cowboys suck, Golden State sucks, and Baltimore Orioles suck. Now, I'm going on record as saying that. And for old time's sake, I got to throw this out. Miami Heat sucks too. I hate the Heat forever. No matter who's there, I still hate them. So when LeBron was there, even though he's back, I still hate the Miami Heat for eternity.
Woe be unto you, my brother. Woe be unto you. But hey, thank you, love you, and we'll talk to you.
I love you too. God bless you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to roll up out of here. That was Pastor Daryl Scott here on the Wayne Dupree Show. Thank you for hanging in with us. Thank you, Joe, for allowing us to go a few minutes over. Pastor Scott allows us to broadcast on WCCD AM 1000 every night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the greater Cleveland area to about 5 million a month listeners on his radio station. So we are happy that we are broadcasting there. We usually tape the show at lunchtime. And hey, for all the people that tuned in, we had over 1,000. We had Cam. What do we have?
Sir.
What do we have? We had
we talking about
we had close to 1,000 people
not a
at
game,
lunchtime.
Not a game.
Our lunchtime show is just
practice.
Growing leaps
we talking
and
about
bounds.
practice, man. What are we talking about?
So
practice.
If you
We
can't
talking
make
about
the night
practice,
show
man.
here on Spreaker and RSBN.TV, where you can watch us, you can always listen to us.
We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about
at
practice,
lunchtime.
man.
So
we talking about
let me see how much battery
not a
juice I
game,
have
not a
here.
game, not a game.
And
we talking about
I don't have any music to go out with. So I don't have any music to go out with. Yeah, my iPad battery is gone. So Cam, how can people reach out to you on social media?
I'm on Twitter at KMKAMVTV.
And Hutch, how can people reach out to you on social media?
Hutch Bailey Jr. on Facebook, Berg's Eye View on Twitter, SteelCityResistance.blogspot.com. Thanks, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can catch me on Twitter at Wayne Dupree Show. You can catch me on Facebook. Just type in Wayne Dupree Show. We'll be on tomorrow. We're gonna have another. We're gonna have Trump surrogate Healy Bumgardner. She'll be on with us tomorrow, and I think we might have somebody else. Boris Epstein, I think, will be on tomorrow. He's also a Trump surrogate, also. So, be 9:00 tomorrow night here on the Right Side Broadcasting Network. We look forward to seeing you. God bless you all. Joe, take us out.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?